York Knicks come into town in this one. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday night edition of the NBA and all its great action on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony and Brent Beard. David Aldridge will be reporting from the sidelines. Last time these two teams met, it was the New York Knicks picking up the loss in that outing against the Celtics.
Yeah, you saw the communication breakdowns defensively, just giving up way too many open looks.
Yeah, sometimes you can play good on-ball defense, but it's the help defense that makes you elite. And on that night, nobody rotating and not a lot of help.
Covington wide open, he fires. A three-pointer, no good.
And you look at Robert Covington, first team all-defense in 2018, the kind of versatile stopper that every team in the league could use.
Now, here's George. A wide open look here for Lopez. And it finally drops after rolling around the rim.
Just incredible the way that Brook Lopez has changed his game to the outside.
Pass to Maker. Here's Porzingis. High post try. And it's rebounded by Covington. And Covington maybe not a star, but he's a winning player. We've seen him.
And the perfect example of that 3-and-D role player. Can guard 4 or 5 positions and can definitely sling it from outside. And the versatility of Paul George's game. Elite defense and rebounding, steals and deflections.
When you think about Paul George moving to several teams, yet still having the impact on both ends of the floor, I think that is a telltale sign that you have an elite talent in Paul George. And I'm all for the crowd interacting with the players, but not so much the players interacting with the crowd. That one, errant pass.
Now, here's George. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a three-point play. It's on Porzingis.
What a great body control there. George, tremendous athlete, takes the hit, and he makes that one count.
To the inside. Here's Porzingis. It's good. It's his second basket. He's shooting 2 for 4.
Uncovered at the rim, finding cracks in the defense here early on.
Really smart basketball and exploiting whatever holes that he's seeing right now in the defensive squad.
Now, here is George. He's got 5. 5 to shoot. The Celtics need to get a shot off. And yes, it's good.
Good soft hands there from Lopez, efficient in the catch-and-shoot motion.
Murray outside. Rebounded by Covington. And so it's Covington who brings up the ball for Boston. It's a 3-point game.
Well, the positioning of Don Maker.
A dynamic leaper with an impressive wingspan. Mitchell usually has some flashy dunks up his sleeve.
George looking over the floor. Back to Lopez. Outside for George. High post Lopez. To the middle. They get it back. And the foul called on Donovan Mitchell. That's foul number 2 for him.
Now with 2 fouls here in the first quarter, everything changes for him. He's got to be more careful on defense.
So the Celtics call timeout. They're first. Being current NBA players, Greg, leaving aside the real star players, who would you love to have played with from this era?
And there's so many guys that, and I hate to call them role players because they bring so much more to the table. But in reality, they got to fill some roles, right? And, John Collins is a guy who's got great potential, a tremendous finisher around the rim. How about Robert Covington, a smooth shooter who defends his tail off? Davis Bertans, a deadly floor spacer who can put the ball down and create and make plays. Giannis. So there's so many guys like that in the league that make a difference in determining whether your team can win or lose.
Boy, those are three names I don't know that I would have mentioned, so I'm glad you did.
And those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten here in the first half.
Back to George. Lopez right side. Outside, George. Lays it up and banks it in. George has got 7 points.
Think back to when Paul George entered the league in the 2010-11 season for the Indiana Pacers. A skinny kid, not so much anymore.
Back to Porzingis. Pass to Jackson. No shot that time, not on target. Now the Celtics take it the other way. Here's George, and it's George finishing it off.
Well, once Paul George gets in that deep, get out of the way. He's coming right at you.
Flying high and throwing it down with the one hand.
Woo, one of his favorite moves right there, guys. And George, here we go.
Again, when you go from second to fourth gear, Paul George puts a lot of pressure on the defense that way.
He's made all 3 of his free throws so far. And he makes the first. Now a timeout called by Boston.
Well, whether things are good, bad, or indifferent, coaches will have adjustments to make throughout the course of the game.
Yeah, not just there to pump up or to discipline players. You got to make sure that the coach makes the proper adjustments and has his team in the right mindset to carry it out.
And both free throws good for Paul George.
You can tell he's feeling confident right now at the line, and when he's on, he can be lights out.
Outside, Wall. To the paint. Lopez with the steal. And a fast break now for the Celtics. Outside, George. Pass to Lopez. And off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him. Lopez has got his 3rd basket of the night. Outside, Wall. Over Beverly. Rebound by Brook Lopez. Boston leading by 5. Stolen by Bledsoe. Here's Jackson. And Jackson throws it down hard.
I think the scouting report talks a lot about Josh Jackson is going to come at you and play downhill. You don't want him to get those kind of shots off. Nice dunk.
Not the kind of aggressive defense they need to cut into the lead.
Yeah, you have to protect the rim, Greg, a little better.
Good job to recognize the opportunity. That's just very solid offense.
Back to Wall. Pocket 6. Takes it into the teeth of the knee and converts the layup.
And he's got one heck of a burst on his way to the bucket. Wall is at his best, but he's driving away, going from 0 to 60 in an instant.
And foul call. Looks like they had a clear cut to the basket. He'll be shooting 2 free throws. And they'll retain possession. The next shooting their first free throws of the game on this trip to the line.
You think about Josh Jackson and maybe him collecting 1 terabyte of information about how it is that Kawhi Leonard goes about his business. Great size, great length, great versatility. A good guy for Josh Jackson to look up to.
Bridges misses. Paul George, he's been the guy making things happen for the Boston Celtics. He comes away with 11 points in the quarter and is showing no sign. And getting going again here in the second quarter. Fairly close game so far. What do you guys think about the Celtics here in this one?
I mean, the rebounding was the difference in that first period. You've got to block these guys out.
Yeah, rebounding can also be just about will, and they showed some of that in going in there and collecting some boards.
A shake. Rebounded by the Celtics.
That's the only kind of defense that's going to cut the mustard here tonight. You got to stay on top of a guy like that who could play at such a high level offensively.
Pushing it up. Pass to Bull. No luck that time in the shot that would have put them on top. Enzo Ayton will bring it up for Boston. And Eric Bledsoe, a special kind of athlete.
They had 3 separate knee surgeries in the rear view, but still so fast, his teammates call him Ferrari. The way he's built, muscle car might be more accurate.
Ayton pouring the foundation there on the inside, just living in the paint.
Jackson. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. Greg, you were drafted 12th overall by the New York Knicks and then 2nd overall by the Grizzlies in the expansion trade. So you've had a very unique view of being in that position in 2 different settings.
Yeah, I mean, 2 very different cities, but really each beautiful in its own way. The New York draft, obviously coming out of college, that was like a dream come true to go and play for Pat Riley, and then get the opportunities of going to be a part of a brand new team in a new country, if you will, was also a really cool experience as well.
I hope we can take a petition started by you and me to get the NBA back into
And Seattle, right? Let's get back to both those cities.
Exactly. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Now it's a 5-point Celtic lead.
Great production on the interior right now. 8 straight from inside.
Deal with the bucket.
And this is right around the time when one team might start to pull away.
Yeah, this team is looking to add to the lead, trying to put the other team away. It's threatening here.
And so New York calls timeout. Go first.
And as he gets older, we've seen Derrick Rose coming out of his shell a bit more. Early in his career, he was wary of strangers and the media.
So both teams making some changes here. Knicks trail by 8. And growing up, Derrick Rose protected by his family from the dangers of Chicago. Then, Greg, after starring at the University of Memphis, he was drafted by his hometown Bulls.
Anointed a savior from day one. You talk about a life under the microscope. Sports writers picking him apart, rabid fans wanting a piece. In a lot of ways, it's probably better for him not playing in Chicago.
Pass to Stanley. Porzingis inside. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Back to Mitchell. The shot, no good. And the Celtics going the other way now. Rose with the ball. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Drops in the layup for 2. Rose has got the lead up to 8 now for the Celtics.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
And out of bounds as the Celtics gain possession.
Yeah, the body language right now is not looking good for this basketball team. The game might be out of reach, but they have to avoid mistakes like that.
Lopez, no luck.
What the hell?
And the foul called by Porzingis.
My rebound, yeah, nigga.
It'll be his 2nd foul of the
What the
game.
hell you mean?
Celtics leading by 8. It's deflected. This ball movement by Boston. And the officials calling for a 3-second violation. And so here is New York. Wall attacking. That's basket number 2 with his third shot off to a fast 2 for 3.
And in the post, Wall's got a pretty well-developed game for a point guard. He can navigate his way through the big bodies with very few problems.
Well, Celtics shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight.
And they had a lot of success a season ago as a team, hitting about 80% of their free throws.
And both free throws good for Paul George.
Think about Paul George in his second year in the NBA being named the most improved player. He's just gotten better from that point. And you don't have to win an award every year to prove it.
And that's a little lack of fight at the defensive end.
Absolutely. At least on that slam, you're right. That's one way to let a team back in the game.
You have to credit the aggressiveness offensively because that's when you make a play when you really need it.
And he just powered that one of the game's top dunkers. Pass to Bull. And that comes off the assist by John Wall. Bull's got his first points of the game.
And how about the read from John Wall? He knows the angles, sees the opportunity, and makes the right feed.
Here's Bull. Now Bridges, guarded by Harris. Now Wall. Here's Bull. And the rebound goes to Lopez.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
He has been just completely helpless and turned around. He's so dangerous when he's in this kind of rhythm.
Here's Bull. Paul George with the steal. Here's the break. He's again. That one, no good. And it's Mitchell with the ball for the Knicks. Trailing by 10. Ball's shot is good.
It's just the overall aggressiveness. Wall enjoys taking on a challenge and succeeding, especially when the D is all over. And in the first quarter, he was consistently getting to the line and really causing headaches for the D. Haven't seen that same type of consistency here in the second. No wasted trips at all. They're taking care of business at the line.
It's Bull top of the key. Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. Bledsoe looking it over. Inside. Some solid defense from Ayton. For Boston, they have exceptional shooting free throws tonight, going 9 for 9. And the first one. And George drops them both. Here's Murray. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Takes it off the glass.
Well, he passes to the wide open man. Bridges developing some team chemistry.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flank.
But he's the guy that you want to go to right now, trying to put this one away.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. So it's the Celtics now. The 12-point lead, their biggest of the game. Lopez up top. Here's George. And it's George finishing it off.
Pretty cool that Paul George came to the game on a rocket ship because he's on another planet right now.
And it's Murray penetrating. The shot's good. Murray's got his second bucket of the night.
It's a great move, and he catches the defense completely off guard.
Well, just ripping through right there as he finds the open spot and gets right through there. High basketball IQ play.
Well, coming into the league with immense potential, Porzingis is already fulfilled much of it, already an all-star. But you know, Greg, there are still areas he's working on.
Yeah, he's definitely getting stronger and more physical. You'd like to see him make the next pass a little more often when a teammate has a better shot. But if he can just stay healthy, well, the sky's the limit on what he can accomplish. And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
Yeah, Paul George will take those opportunities anytime he can get them. A nice dunk there.
Here's Porzingis. And the dunk by Porzingis.
And wait to finish and cut into that lead a little bit.
Yeah, but look at the basket, guys, still shaking. Pass to Lopez from 12 feet out.
I'm shocked he missed that wide open look. He has to feel embarrassed.
Again, even though they're down, he's still looking to do the spectacular, and he did.
Well, maybe this is the best time to do it. If you go step in a time machine, what would you like and dislike about playing in this area at this time?
Well, no doubt about the tempo and the spacing. I think that, more than anything, allows for the true skill and artistry of the game to be on display. Probably wouldn't want to get switched onto Embiid down low. I would probably dislike that and let it be known vociferously.
But I always pictured you as being fearless, like you would never turn down that kind of challenge.
I wouldn't turn it down publicly.
Back to Lopez. 5 on the clock. Nice D from Porzingis. Knicks trail by 7. And there's the foul to try to stop the break, and that'll be a clear path to the basket. 2 free throws coming up, and they'll retain possession. For New York, they've gone a perfect 7 of 7 from the line tonight.
And looking at last season's numbers, down below 70% as a team from the line.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over.
And as things present themselves throughout a game, teams have to adapt on the fly.
And timeouts are a wonderful opportunity to just settle in and recollect the thoughts of your entire team. Not just the guys playing, but the entire team.
The Knicks making a switch here. Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. And here is Murray. Pass to Maker. And the dunk by Maker.
I'll tell you, they're right in this. We'll see if they can maintain momentum.
Yeah, this is not the team that we saw in the first quarter right now. Way more confident out there, and the cohesion of the team is impressive.
And there is one.
Yeah, we love when great offensive players get in a scoring rhythm, but Paul George right now in a great passing rhythm tonight.
And some hang time on the rim. Puts a little cherry on the top of that slam.
Well, those kind of displays of strength can get one team rolling. Here's George. Porzingis with the block.
Great anticipation there. Porzingis in the right spot. Throws that one away.
Now, here's George. He's got 29 points. 4 on the shot clock. And so it looks like the Celtics will retain possession here.
Great energy on the deflection and a good job disrupting their offense.
Yeah, appreciate the work right now on the defensive end.
George, no good.
Not quite enough defense. That time around, just lucky he was off.
You know, altered shots don't show up on the official stat sheet, but as we saw there, he does a great job of doing that as well as collecting the rebound.
Uses the glass to finish the way. George has got 31 points.
And they're really in a good position here, thanks in part to the way he's been able to score the basketball.
Looking more comfortable as time moves on. I think his middle name is Play. That would be Thon Playmaker.
And it's Wall with the ball for the New York Knicks. It's a three-point game. 1:53 left to play in the third. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Ayton. Here's Mitchell. 15 points in the game. And a miss there off the inbound.
He's going to be shaking his head on that one. Knows he missed an easy one.
Yeah, you can't make him fall, and you for sure you'll want him taking that kind of shot.
Time call here. The Celtics decide to talk it over.
Well, DeAndre Ayton is a walking double-double. This guy has a huge physical advantage on the nights that he's playing other bigs, whether that's by his size or his ability to run the floor. And if he comes out with an aggressive mentality, he could really punish some teams throughout the course of a regular season.
And there's a minute 45 left in the third. Pass to Bull. That misses off the bat. And some think that Ayton has a chance to be in a class with some of the great big men we've seen. I mean, Ewing or Robinson, Hakeem. I mean, those are very lofty standards. Greg, how does he get there?
A great question. I think when you talk about it, Kevin, you got to look at the defensive end. And those names that you just mentioned on a nightly basis were a force behind anybody on the perimeter. When he came into that house, it was defended. Ayton gets there. He's got a big opportunity.
Pass to Ayton. The kick out to Rose. Back to Ayton. And Ayton throws it down.
And that's the role they want for Rose. Getting guys going through his passes, especially when he can find them in rhythm. Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball. Here's Ayton. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. That one is on Bull.
Intensity from Ayton, consistently finding different ways to get at the defense and make them overcommit.
There's 38 seconds left in the third. And Wall. Here we go now.
Wow, he touched it again.
Wow. Rare block shot.
He touched it twice.
Anticipates the move and just times it out perfectly.
Pass to Bull. Rebounded by DeAndre.
More good work on the glass there. When it's all said and done, I think rebounding might tell the story in this game.
About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. The Knicks pull it in.
Those are chances. Almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D, just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Paul George, he's been the guy making things happen for the Boston Celtics. And his big game just keeps getting bigger. That quarter sees him get 3/10 quarters behind us. One more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the fourth. Knicks trail by 3. Pass to Jackson. That's good. And so Wall with the assist.
I like to see Jackson with these kind of plays, getting into the paint and then getting a little bit more creative with the scoring opportunity.
Rose in the post. And lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two. Emmanuel Mudiay picks one up. The first free throw is good.
Well, this guy should be a double-double threat and is still learning how to play. DeAndre Ayton has a great combination of size, scoring ability, and rebounding. That's what makes him a very valuable player in the league.
And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Wow, they made every free throw here in the second half.
And so John Wall nails both of them.
And Wall has said he wants to be in the MVP conversation moving forward. A terrific floor general with unreal athleticism.
Here's Ayton. Out to Morris. Scored the bucket. He's made 5 so far, shooting a very clean 5 of 7.
And you don't want to allow too many of those short ones with the game right now in the balance.
He's just an aggressive player. I mean, what can I say? He's going to put on more muscle, but he's in attack mode. He's scoring through contact.
Here's Ayton. And Ayton throws it down.
And that dunk reverberated throughout this entire building.
It turned it up high and down hard on the windmill clock. Here's Wall. Here's Bull. And he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. Kyle Lowry picks one up there.
Yeah, Bull with the unique combination of height and skill. That's a challenge for any defender.
Just over a minute and a half played here in the fourth. Pass to Ayton. They kick out to Hield. And that's out of bounds. Boston will retain possession. Now timeout called by Boston. Catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, I was able to listen in on what Brad Stevens had to say to his team. He said, "This is what we play for, fellas. Let's knock them on their heels right out of the timeout. Show them how much you want it. Go get it." He really was fired up about this game.
Thank you, David.
And coach is looking to seize every advantage, maximize every possession.
Got to feel good as a coach if you make all those adjustments. Hold the right strings. That's what they love to do.
Lopez outside. 6 on the shot clock. Back to George. Stolen by Mitchell. And here we go. Fast break. Murray's got it. So they take the lead. And the Knicks lead by 1.
And you might not have expected him to go for the steal there, but boy, oh boy, did that ever work out.
So good, so experienced. Paul George can convert the toughest of buckets. It's rebounded by Porzingis. And we have an intentional foul there, GA.
wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
Murray surveying the D. In the corner, it's Maker. Got a piece of it. Here's Porzingis. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Albert Covington picks one up.
Porzingis showing a little strength down low that time. You can't get upset at the D for being physical with him on that play.
And both free throws good for Porzingis.
It's been a really good day for him at the line. Some other bigs have well-documented problems on their free throws. He's not one of them.
Lopez up top. Shot clock at 6. Here's George. Sinks that one from the post. George has got 12 points here in the second half.
That's why you turn to Paul George. These moments are for PG.
Here's Baker. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
All the officials are all over that.
That free throw good for Maker. And so he hits both. And so George will bring it up for Boston. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. Yes, that goes in. George has got 6 points in the quarter.
George is not settling for low percentage plays right now. He's putting the defense in a really tough position.
Mitchell looking it over. Down low. 6 to shoot. Here's Baker. No good on that one. Now Boston takes it the other way. Deflects the pass. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Murray.
Tell you what, they're really fortunate there. Those long bomb passes usually spell disaster, but they get away with one there.
George with the ball. Now defended by Mitchell. Lopez, no up.
It's so weird. Sometimes when you get that much time, it can throw you off just as much as having no time.
The Celtics with the lead. 1:22 left in the fourth quarter. Here's George. And the layup's good off the glass. George has got 39.
Yeah, Paul George sharpening his swords now. Love to see him take that shot.
To Porzingis. Back to Mitchell. Good D by Covington. .50 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Lopez outside. Back to George. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's on Porzingis.
Yeah, I think you got to be cautious when you guard Paul George. He's not afraid of the contact, and that time he welcomed it.
That's good. Going 1 or 2 from the line, and that gives him a 4-point cushion. Porzingis, here we go. Money!
That is world class.
I love seeing that there. A huge possession, and he nets it.
We can probably expect to see him slow it down now.
Yeah, I think you want to build your possession.
How about the heroes of a guy like Paul George at his size being able to rip around and has total confidence in his ability to score.
And they go to the intentional foul. And he misses the first one. Boy, he wanted that one to fall. And the second of 2 is good. That puts them up by 5.
Lopez serves as an unbelievable case study for someone who changed his game over time. I mean, almost in a season. So specifically, how he added the 3-point shot, it's made him such a valuable asset to this offense.
First free throw is good, and that increases their lead to 6. And he both free throws here. So now it's a 7-point game.
Free throws always a little bit sweeter when they can add to your lead.
Guys, let's just go ahead and call this one. It's over.
You want to keep expending energy, or do you want to start thinking about the next one?
Here's Wall. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
The competitive firewall plays is admirable. Fantastic at just figuring out ways to attract contact.
He drops the first one, and that turns the lead to 6. And so Wall nails both of them. Here's George. Takes the 3. Off on that one. So we see.
I got swimming in the clutch. Oh, y'all didn't be putting together. Oh, man, I couldn't do it. Oh, man, I couldn't be. Shut the hell up. Say good game, bro. I got you next time in the playoff.
What had to be done, and to send these fans home happy.
And that'll wrap it up, folks.
That's the Porzingis 12-7. 12-7. Shut up, bro. Oh man, PG, y'all ain't no PG-13. Nigga dropped 42 around. I didn't know PG. That nigga was cheap. I ain't even get to play with Aiden for real, for real. They was swinging me on some of my moves. I ain't get to work my boy out like I wanted to. Yeah. I wasn't using the screens on some of them. Some of them you just getting by them niggas. Bridges can't guard him. Cub with the defense. I swung to myself. I could have took off more. Got to put this nigga back at shooting guard. He ain't getting none of his fast break points. I swung to myself, bro. I let you keep up action. When I had the lead, I could have went for the stumping. For the stumpings. Lock up. Said that, 2-3 screens, that's right. Tim Duncan, nigga. I told you I'm the Spurs.
Sound that was mine for the get. How long down and as long as I get. I'm for the side with the time never is. Move to the side as the line protected. Move to the side on the rise and break it. Yeah. Don't be trying to get my dough. Just don't breathe the sound I saw. Make it on the top of the way I go. Yeah.
MJ used to bust that long Tony Parker to the Dolphins. Oh, he got through that one. Come back. Come back again. Fuck, he got through that one. Come back. Come back. It's gonna work. That bitch gonna work. Come back. Say it again, nigga. Come back. Racks on racks on racks. Racks on racks on racks.
It's no rap. Fast. I gotta catch it. See me in action. On go. That's all that I know. How far will I go? I ain't not hesitant. Come back, go get it. Location, no problem. I cannot help that I'm picky. I made it my way from the bottom. Holding the game and my hands up so high as I am on the collar. I'm over there like me, don't go put it them all in my collar. This is the life that I built. To me, that's all that I know. There ain't no time to chill. I told you I'm on the go. They wanna step on the field. Tell them my patience is low. I do not need me a deal. I'm with a couple of those. Racks on racks. I'm not lax. Sitting I move. Make my own bars. Still I don't lack. Racks on racks. I'm not lax. Sitting I move. Make my own bars. Still I don't lack. I need racks on.
PG game going all the way. I'm gonna feel this nigga. I'm getting the hang of it now. This dude get his fucking the next season 80. Then the fucking Paul George gonna get to them. They gonna be hard to stop. He's just gonna try his own Paul George. Swipe that ass. Go ahead and put this on. I ain't get to shoot no threes with this man yet. I want to force some threes with this nigga. Joe Harris. All these gold shooting backs. Go ahead. Let's see what we can do with it, baby. And my nigga JoJo. I take threes. 91 320. I know Adrian coming for it one time. He don't have to. I'm waiting on that mug. Let's see how right there. And I got this nigga. He didn't get no threes off either. Waiting to shoot some threes with my boy, man. Buddy Hield only had 1 3-pointer. He scrapped that one. Bitch ass. Where his bitch ass at? Let me look at this nigga. He hit that one that time. Once he hit one, he lucky Buddy didn't get no more. Once Buddy hit one, he got that badge. He gonna start swapping them hoes. Brook Lopez. Yeah, that nigga is locked. I want to go look at his interior defense. I bet you that bitch is 99. I'm about to start swindling Bo bitch ass too. He could post up. And then possessions, and then they want to put Bo, try to switch out to get Brook out the game. I'm about to post his little skinny ass up. What's this nigga's strength? He got 80 post moves. 86. Alright, I'm about to punch that man. Put that skinny nigga back in the game again. This nigga always got his excuse when he lose. Damn, the fam just came in right when I was in the clutch. Every time it's right in between something, that's when the shit happened to him, huh? Damn, right at the right time when I was supposed to take my last second shot of the game, I was gonna win it. The whole family walked in on me. Shut the hell up. Oh man, this dude always got an excuse. That shit is funny. You don't think you'll lose in 2K. That's why you always find an excuse. All that stuff. What do I want to do in this situation here? Oh yeah, let me fucking fix this shit. That was supposed to be for defensive purposes, but I need runs like that too, God. I know you thought I had been if you were part of that bull bit. Saying this. Took over time. We can do better. I ain't shooting that one with this nigga. Yeah, he could hit something. Only way I shoot a 3 with Brook, if I'm up by like 7 or 8, I'll try one. If it's close, I ain't pulling them all. 76 ain't. I gotta be up. I don't own the rights to this music, YouTube.